You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk 1150 AM. Now, back to the show with local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell.
You are listening to the Money Hour on 1150 AM, KKNW, the Saturday, February 12th show. You can also listen to my show podcast, Facebook premiere, or you can catch my show on our show YouTube channel. I am your host and local mortgage expert, bringing in studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything regarding your money. Now in studio, Tal Zlotnitsky of Our.Love, and he's here to share a little bit about a unique Valentine's gift idea for you right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Zal, welcome back into the show. Thank you for joining.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah. So can you share a little bit more about your background?
Sure. So I was born in Israel, where I was actually a child singing star and television personality. My parents, nevertheless, crushed my dreams of stardom and chose to move to the United States in 1986. I was 12 and a half. It was humbling. I didn't speak the language. My name was funny, and it took some adjusting. But I was very fortunate to come to an incredible country. I was supported and loved by English as a second language teachers that ensured that I mastered the language, and I was able to eat lunch thanks to a subsidized lunch, and go to the doctor when I was sick at a free clinic. So a lot of wonderful things that frankly are not as easy to come by in America today. In addition to that, I was able to go to college in part thanks to Maryland Senatorial Scholarship. So I feel really blessed. From college, I started companies as an entrepreneur, and I've been doing that pretty much nonstop since I was 18. My first company failed miserably, and I literally blew up. My last job, I was doing painting and power washing as a college student, and my very last job of the day, I blew up. I was pouring gasoline into a running power washer, and next thing I know, I was being helicoptered to the hospital. So you could have imagined that set me back a little bit about whether being an entrepreneur is right for me. But ultimately, I found myself being drawn right back into it. I love the opportunity to set a course. I love the opportunity to create a dream and then bring people along. And I've been extraordinarily blessed in being able to do that multiple times in my career.
Yeah, you definitely can't shut down that passion of wanting to run your own business and do your own thing that is always attached to something that we as an individual are passionate about. And obviously your passion of the new company that you've started now. So let's talk about what is your latest company, Our.Love, all about?
So Our.Love it's an app, but it's more of an app that's going to become a platform, and even in the early iterations of the product. So it's available in the App Store as of February 14th. And if you happen to be listening before February 14th, you can go to our website, www.our.love, and you can sign up to be among the first people to be notified when it's available. And also you have the opportunity to get a free lifetime membership and other goodies. So we'd love to see you there. And that would be an amazing Valentine's Day gift, because it would show your significant other that you are very committed to more and better love, because that's what the app's about. So what we did was we brought together some of the best relationship scientists in the world, some of the most esteemed wellness scientists in the world, including Dr. Richard Safir, who's the Chief Medical Director of Health and Wellbeing at Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Jim Cohn, who's a distinguished professor at the University of Virginia, Dr. Leanne Campbell, Dr. Larry McCullough, who's the founder of one of the world's most premier institutes about the impact of childhood trauma on adult communication, which is a huge factor in relationships. So we brought together incredible scientists, but that in and of itself is not enough, because science can be boring. No offense to those of you that love science. In order for this to work, we realized we needed to make it more than just science. So we brought some cutting edge technology to bear. There are some incredible innovations in the marketplace, and some of them are going to be introduced for the first time ever in our app to a marketplace seeking to increase their love. So as an example, we have in the app, one of the features in the app is a product that is an emotion detection technology that uses audio biometrics. So effectively, you set a topic, you have a conversation, you set it and forget it kind of thing, but we are listening to your tone, and we're listening to your intent, and we're listening to whether you're disrupting each other and interrupting each other. We're listening to how quickly you offer your next answer, which is an indication of how well you were listening. And we're going to give you the opportunity to see how well you're doing. There's going to be a bouquet on the screen. And if you're doing really well, it's going to blossom. And if you're not doing so well, it's going to wilt. And at the end, we're going to give you some amazing data to help you understand what you're doing well and what you need to be doing better. So those are some of the incredible features that we're bringing to bear. Finally, we realize that people want to have fun. And having fun in this day and age is about playing. And so our app is a gamified virtual universe. You have a virtual home for you and your partner, which you can decorate as you see fit. You can add rooms. You can give gifts to your partner, and you can play. So there are a variety of games. Some of them are, more about game than science, but for the most part, we are extraordinarily vigilant about making sure that everything we introduce to our audience that is about love is 100% backed by sound science. So we're not giving you some quackery. We're giving you solid science, but it's packaged in a way that's easy for you to retain and have fun with, and for you and your partner to enjoy. And we're extraordinarily excited to be finally able to take this product beyond the focus groups we've been working on and introducing it to the general public.
Wow. And if you missed the panel conversation with Tal, one of the stats that he shared is 10% of relationships are happy. I mean, that's really scary. 80%, actually, that's one of their top things that they want is a great relationship. So, so amazing. So can you share a little bit of the inspiration behind why you started Our.Love?
Sure. And because we care about getting the science right, it's 10% of relationships are both healthy and happy.
Healthy
and that's
and
according
happy.
to the Psychology Today study that was released in September of 2019. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the
I wanted to get that straight.
I really appreciate it. The inspiration behind starting Our.Love.
Yeah. So as you might imagine, I don't know if it's coming through at all, but I'm a pretty passionate person, and
it's coming through.
I have
Love it.
And I've always felt, I've been a very curious person. And whenever there was an area in my life where I felt that I wasn't being my best self, I sought out information and knowledge. And, I'd been married very young, and that marriage ended relatively early. And I became a single father of two beautiful daughters. My daughters are now 27 and 23. My oldest is the U.S. Navy, and my daughter, my middle daughter, is about to graduate as a registered nurse. So I'm incredibly proud of both of them. But their mother walked away from us when they were very young, and that caused a lot of pain. And ultimately, I remarried. My wife and I raised a beautiful son together, along with our two daughters, and all that was good and well. But in terms of love, I really didn't feel that I was a master of it in any sense of the word. I didn't really know. I couldn't name the components of effective loving. I didn't quite understand the connection between various components of love. And so I started reading up on it when my marriage was failing. And what I discovered was the science is incredibly compelling and very clear. Not to be controversial, because I know climate science can be controversial sometimes, but just as 99% of climate scientists agree on the cause of climate change, 99% of relationship scientists agree on what it takes to do love well. And so what it boiled down to was a realization that we're attempting to do love the same way that we've done it forever, meaning in books or magazine articles, or maybe we're asking our friends for their advice, which, obviously ask your friends, but your friends do not have the background, the experience, or the understanding. Only 20% of couples go to therapy, and they wait on average 6 years to do it, by which time such damage is caused that many relationships are, for all intents and purposes, what I call zombie marriages. They're still together, but the marriage is dead. So if your objective is to not get to that point in your relationship, if you are in a place in your relationship today where you're thinking, you know what, we're pretty happy, or I still love my partner, I can access that love, but we could be better, where maybe we're snapping at each other, we're not as kind, we don't listen as well as we should, we don't show as much appreciation, we don't spend enough quality time, we struggle being vulnerable, maybe physical touch is not exactly what we'd like it to be. You have an opportunity to get it right. The beauty of our app is that we are going to introduce you to some amazing science in a way that's wholly accessible. And we believe that you're going to find yourself in a different place very quickly. So we're really, really excited about being able to touch so many lives.
Well, like I said, you really can't be for your good for your community if you're not good for yourself first, and yourself first is attached to your relationships, whether it's your spouse, your kids, your parents, your loved ones. So, who is our love of our.love for and benefits the most?
Amazing question. So we are for anyone in a serious relationship that is interested in loving more and better. And it does not matter at this point whether your partner is right there with you. The app begins as a single player experience. You
Oh,
can add your partner at any time. But if you want to just come in and just see for yourself what's there, uh, improving your own behavior, becoming your best self
yeah,
is a known way to increase your happiness. So coming in, even if you're in a relationship where you don't think your partner would want to lean in, you have the opportunity to improve yourself and have fun while doing it in the app. But we ultimately hope that in most instances, your partner will come along. And we have worked extraordinarily hard at everything, the language of the very explicit time that you come to your partner and ask them to join has been thought about and scratched out to get it just right. Because our objective ultimately is to make it a place that your partner, once they come to it, will realize, wow, first, there's some amazing information that you get within minutes of downloading the app. Within 5 minutes of being on the app, we will have you complete a relationship tracker survey. And when you finish that survey, we're going to give you a reading on your relational health across 7 critical love skills. So
yeah,
you're not in the dark. I mean, it's crazy to me that we know how much money we have in the bank. We know how many steps we've taken.
yeah,
But we don't know where we are in our love across really critical love skills. It is unthinkable to me that we're living through our lives in that kind of a fog around something so important. Not only do we not know where we think we stand, we don't know where our partner thinks we stand. We don't know the delta between where we think we are and where our partner is. And
yeah,
how can we possibly improve? If you don't know that on curiosity, you're rating your relationship a 75 and your partner is rating it a 55, how are you going to improve? You've got to know where your opportunities are. And then we're going to provide you with an easy, fun, creative way to understand what these skills are, to really be able to absorb them into your bloodstream and start to practice them. And we have a high degree of confidence that when you do, you're going to be able to see measurable improvement in your relationship very rapidly. Now, look, ultimately every couple is different. I don't want to,
sure.
I'm not promising a magic elixir. What I am saying though, is if you're prepared to come in with an open mind, if you're going to put cynicism aside, if you're going to come in and your objective is not to blame your partner or shame your partner or
Mhm.
rationalize your behavior that's maybe not so conducive to good loving, but you're coming in open-hearted, open-minded, with the intent of finding a way to live a life with more love and more connection, we can help.
Yeah. And, it takes anything that you want to improve and more importantly, to be able to master, it takes work. And it also takes expertise and tools to help you navigate through that process. And that's what our.love app seems like, it's going to provide. It provides the tools, the expertise, the stats, the technology and everything to not just level up, but over time with the work to master your relationships. So we have less than 2 minutes left. Tal, what would you like to leave with my listeners as we wrap up today?
I'd love to give one small final example of
Okay.
why this isn't as hard as you think, right? Because you said the word work, and it's, people think of it's work and I'm busy and I'm tired and the kids and we'll get to it later. Well, the kind of work we're talking about is gamified for you. So as an example, there's a well-known field. There's a brilliant scientist. His book is right on my desk, BJ Fogg, that talks about tiny habits. And the idea of tiny habits is, you know what? If you want to get fit,
Great book.
do 2 push-ups every time after you wash your hands. Two
Yeah.
push-ups. So
Yeah.
the point is we will show you a very fun and easy game that helps you remember what it is that you're trying to do at certain moments. For example, let's say you want to remember to ask your wife a question. We can tie that to the act of brushing your teeth, and we will help you reinforce that habit through the game so that every time you brush your teeth, trust me, very soon after starting the game, you will be remembering, I need to ask my wife a question. If you haven't done it yet that day, you know what? Take the toothbrush right out of your mouth and ask that question. So that's how we're going to help people. And you know what? Ultimately, you're going to help yourself because you'll recognize you're being successful, that it's having an impact. And there's nothing more fun than seeing that the hard work you're putting in, and again, I'm putting hard in quotation marks because it's more fun than hard, but you are making an effort, and to see it pay off with the person you love most in the world, it's hard to put words into what type of impact that will have on your life.
Yeah. So do fun working to level up your relationship, because what's hard is not being happy in a relationship. And that has a ripple effect in a very massive way. So, Tal, thank you so much for joining me on my show and sharing with the listeners. Again, when the show does air at 11:50 a.m. KKNW and our podcast, it'll be up and running, and you can, well, a couple days after that, you can go to Our.Love. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Tal, for coming in. I really appreciate it.